Okay, what's up guys? It's Nando here, back with one more video, and I've got a little final review on the Fitbit Versa. Check out the Fitbit Versa, guys. This is the special edition one. Look at that. This is the special edition model. So I'm gonna start off by saying the following. So what makes this a special edition? Well, for 30 extra bucks, it retails for $199.99, and you can get this for $229.99. You get this special edition woven band, and that's it. And you get Fitbit Pay. So if you want to make payments with the select banks that currently use Fitbit Pay, you need the special edition model because it comes with NFC. You can link up your card. Again, select banks so far. It's nowhere as robust as Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, or Android Pay. However, if you have some of the major banks, Bank of America is one of them, then you can use your Fitbit Versa to make payment. So I've had this watch for about a week now, and I've used it every day for the entire week since it's been out. A couple things that I want you guys to know about this watch, and then I'll give you kind of my final verdict. Who's it for? Now, I'm going to start off by saying that I'm not a fitness dude. You know, I do some occasional running, some occasional weightlifting, but that's so far and few in between. I don't necessarily use a Fitbit to keep track of my runs, to keep track of my calories in terms of a fitness, specialist type level or someone who enjoys fitness. I use my Fitbits to keep track of just how active I am. Throughout the day, check, saying, oh, these are how many steps I'm getting. Do I need to push it, get more steps in? Am I being really lazy? Am I being really progressive in pushing myself? That's what I use my Fitbit for, and I think a lot of casual users use their Fitbits that way. So what I can tell you is that I'm a huge tech person. I love technology, and I've had Apple Watches, Samsung smartwatches, everything in between in terms of a smart watch. And right off the bat, Fitbit Versa provides you some basic functionality that you expect and enjoy out of a smartwatch. What I mean by that are things such as weather, being able to access your music, being able to see your notifications, who's calling you, text messages, emails. The Fitbit Versa does that and does that fairly well. What it doesn't do is allow you to engage with those notifications the way a dedicated smartwatch would. And if you're looking for the Fitbit Versa as that kind of dedicated smartwatch that also does fitness, the Fitbit Versa isn't for you. Matter of fact, I ended up turning off notifications on my Fitbit Versa because I was getting annoyed at the fact that they would come in and I really couldn't do anything with them. I think on Android, Smart Replies is something that's going to be coming out in the near future. I don't know if that's going to make its way over to iOS. But if you have an Android device and you're using the Fitbit Versa, you should be able to at least curate some sort of generic response back to a specific text, maybe even email or phone call. So look forward to that. Now, not being able to engage with the notifications was the primary reason why I've kind of not enjoyed this Fitbit the way I know I could. But I quickly moved past that and reminded myself this is not a dedicated smartwatch. It's not meant to do that. However, I do want to mention that because a lot of people out there would probably expect that or don't know how or to what extent their notifications is going to work. So that's how notifications work on the Fitbit Versa. You get them, you can swipe them away, dismiss them. There's that. Now, in terms of fitness, one of the cool things you can do with this is actually use this in the shower. You can submerge this. I don't know exactly what the rating is, but I have used this in the shower. I wish that Fitbit Charge H2 would do that. I wish all Fitbits would do that. So you can do that. You can take this for a swim. That's not an issue. In terms of physical dimensions and just how it feels in hand, this is so light. This is super light and super comfortable. Fitbit really did a good job in ensuring that this wasn't going to be something very obtrusive on your wrist. If you've used the Fitbit Ionic, you'd probably agree that that is just a little too bulky, a little too edgy. That's the reason why I returned it. That's not the case with the Fitbit Versa. And again, I'm coming from the Charge 2HR, and I've used the Apple Watch and other smartwatches before that. Now, one thing I don't like about the Fitbit Versa is the fact that, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get in focus here. You see that kind of protruding little piece here in the corner and then here? Those are the pins that you would use to remove the bands. And what I hate about the way they did this is they protrude up. There's really no way to kind of tuck that away. And depending on how big your wrist is, that's going to probably dig into your wrist. It's digged into mine once or twice already. It's super annoying, and there's really no way you can get rid of this. I mean, it has to be here. You can kind of push it down, but as you push it down, it's only going to move back. So from a design language, everything was great except for the way they integrated the smart band removal. It's not as easy as it is on an Apple Watch or as it is even on a Fitbit Charge 2HR. And I'm really disappointed by that. I don't know why they moved away from something like they had on the Charge 2HR, which is seamless. You don't feel anything. You just kind of push in the pin and you replace the band. So I just wanted you guys to know that because it's been bothering me. In terms of the screen, it's a very nice screen. What I don't like is the Fitbit branding at the bottom, and I don't like the size of the bezels. The bezels themselves could be smaller. Maybe that's something that they're going to push out in a future version of Fitbit Versa. But overall, it's a really decent screen, and you can see it in daylight, and you can obviously see it in low light, and it looks vibrant and rich. Other things about this Fitbit that are cool, Fitbit has its own like little app store, allowing app developers to do things such as make specific app watch faces that show steps walked, your heart rate, things like that. It's not really fancy, but it's there, so keep an eye out for that. I'm assuming as more Fitbit Versa sell, more app developers join the ship, and then it's going to be better for everyone. You have this really cool, engaging way to choose your exercises. A run. So what it does, it's obviously going to keep track of how many steps you've taken, how fast you're doing your laps and things like that. But you can scroll through the different modes of workout that are already pre-installed in your Fitbit Versa, and it kind of guides you through the workout right there on your wrist. So you don't have to actually grab your phone to pick your workout. You can just use your Fitbit Versa to pick your workout and kind of go from there. Now, this Fitbit Versa doesn't have its own GPS, so you're going to need your smartwatch connected with your smartphone so that you can have that GPS functionality. The Fitbit Ionic does that, but the Fitbit Versa does not do that. For myself, as a casual fitness person, that's not a big deal because I'm not going to go out and about without my smartwatch, or I'm sorry, my smartphone anyways. So when I did use that GPS connection, not a big deal because I have the phone there as well. But for some of you, that might be a big deal. The Fitbit Ionic might be the better choice. Other things to note, you have the ability to set alarms on your smartwatch. That's pretty cool. And then you have even dedicated apps. Back to the app thing. Things like Starbucks has its own dedicated app. There's several weather apps. All of that you can access by scrolling over on the home screen. So there's a home screen. If you swipe over, you can see what kind of apps you have access to, and you can keep on swiping. Fitbit Pay with the wallet. You have how you're doing with the weather and things like that. And I apologize if I'm a little confused because I'm looking at this backwards. It has connection with Pandora. I wish it also provided a better access with things like Spotify or Apple Music or even Google Music. But these are the ones that Fitbit provides us. And you can add more to this. Again, the App Store for Fitbit is a little limited at this point. With that being said, guys, the Fitbit Versa is a great fitness first, smartwatch second device. So with that being said, who's this for? This is for someone who already kind of wants a Fitbit, kind of wants a smartwatch, but doesn't really necessarily want some device that's all in with smartwatch or all in with Fitbit. This is for someone who changes between smartphone pretty consistently, meaning going from Android to iOS, iOS to Android. If you had an Apple Watch and you go to Android, it's not going to work. And if you had an Android like a Samsung smartwatch and go to iOS, it's not going to work as good as it would on Android. So the Fitbit Versa, that's totally fine because it works across platforms just fine. So that's a huge plus for someone like myself who's a techie. And it's really catered, in my opinion, to someone who wants a fitness device but also wants some smartwatch capabilities. If all you want is fitness and fitness only, the Fitbit Ionic or the Charge 2HR or even the smaller version would be your best bet. If you also want to be able to get some notifications, then I think the Fitbit Versa is by far Fitbit's best attempt at some sort of smartwatch capability on their fitness trackers. Fitbit purchased Pebble, and they purchased their software division. So with the Versa, they're actually utilizing some Pebble OS in the Versa OS. So I think they call it Fitbit OS, and I think it's on 2.0. So that's going to be cool to see how Fitbit's software progresses and improves with the next version of the Fitbit Versa or the next version of the Fitbit Ionic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of review. Again, this is for someone who isn't very fitness oriented. I should be. I wish I was. But for someone like myself, the Charge 2HR does everything I need it to do. And I think the Fitbit Versa for myself is a little overkill in the fitness realm and a little underkill, if you will, in the smartwatch realm. If I'm going to go with a smartwatch, I want it to do smartwatch things like the Apple Watch and all the apps that the Apple Watch works with and standalone watch or apps. Fitbit's not there. Hopefully it can improve that. But there's that, guys. So hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and please, at any point in this video, hopefully you subscribed. If you waited till the end, please subscribe now, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, tech-related something. Most important thing is to stay geeky, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. It was Nando. Peace, salute, and adios.